Here I am during my winter break from work, and going to be taking a look at this one. Right now it's an HP Pavilion 6735. Not a very interesting machine in and of its own right. The reason why I am making this video right now, part of the reason why is, well, I saw a video recently, Phil's Computer Lab, saying goodbye to a 6617, which is the same form factor as this. Interesting thing about this one is I have never really touched this much at all during the time that I've had it, which has been, actually, who knows, actually. There's I kind of remember who it came from, but the fact of the matter is it still has its 633 megahertz Celeron, its original just plain Jane CD-ROM drive. I'm almost 100% sure that's original. I am basically 100% sure that this is the original 15 gigabyte Seagate that it came with. The only thing that really was changed on here is, I believe that it came with 64 megs of RAM, I believe, but at some point I bumped it up to 256. I have no clue what's on the hard drive right now, and just today I popped in this 3Com network card. So this machine actually did help me a few months ago when doing the AT&T PC6300, because I used this machine as a surrogate to install DOS, well, different versions of DOS. The PC DOS 2000 is what it ended up with, but I had this hooked up in here. Well, not really in here. I just used it as compact flash reader, or writer. Installed DOS using this machine to the compact flash, and then transferring the compact flash over to the PC6300. So there's going to be some other things I hope to happen this week, and part of it is the rest of this computer stuff over here. Now, a lot of these ones that you already know about, if you saw any other the other videos. So my goal is to get everything 100% like buttoned up, that it's an actual full-fledged machine, especially these old, and pretty dark, the Dells and that gateway, and there's a compact back there. I want to get everything that's working together working, and everything else gonna go out to scrap, the recycling, because, well, I'm eventually, very soon, hopefully, this basement's gonna get finished, and I'm gonna have a finished basement down here. It's not just gonna be all concrete. It's gonna be a nice working area, and I need to get as much junk out of here as possible before that all happens. So it's getting all the machines that are working, and getting rid of all the scrap that either isn't working or I don't need anymore. Like, all right, anybody want any Pentium 4 Dells? I mean, they aren't interesting. They really aren't interesting. I'll probably keep one or two, but the rest are, probably going away. So let me get this hooked up with stuff, and I will power it on, and we will find out what's on it together. Okay, everything's plugged in. Supply power to. All right, and no power on, so I did test the BIOS battery. It was actually good, so okay. There's a little bit of grating right there. Yeah, that hard drive. But if I remember correctly, this hard drive always sounded like that. And let's enter into the BIOS if we can. You're not like something, are you? Take two. Now I know this was working, like I said, a few months ago. When used for the PC6300 project. Let me fool around with it and see if I could get it past the screen. Yes, it works. You know what it was? A bad mouse. After all that, bad mouse. There's also a very, like, it has to be something to do with capacitors. I just need to spit this out. Because the system time and date are correct. Funny thing about that is I actually did pull the battery to test its voltage. So, you know, I wasn't very quick about it. I wasn't like I pulled out the battery, just got the multimeter right and said, whatever. The time and date actually, they were fine. They are fine. So there has to be a slow discharge capacitor somewhere for this, that it's, you know, that it can keep that information. The only thing that it didn't, which is the floppy drive. We have a 15 gig and a CD-ROM, 2 sticks of 128, 633 megahertz Celeron. Huh. So this is from 2000. It's interesting that there's like explicit settings for the installed OS that you want. Okay. And right now I'm just like using the onboard video and onboard sound and see basically as was from the factory. So I'm not sure what's on this. It could be the original install of ME. That would be something. No, I did this, who knows how long ago. There's a version of AVG on it from 2006, so that gives you an idea of oh, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. It should planet wallpaper, something like that, with lights from Earth. Wow. Actually, part of me is wondering if I should wipe this at all. I was saying of putting Windows 2000 on it. A fleeting thought of Windows ME to get it. But fine. Oh, there we go. Yep. That's exactly what I thought it was. That's exactly. Yep. There it is. Just had to remember that. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay, whatever. An exception occurred. Oh, I was using Ghost with this. Oh, wow. This has not been set up, hooked up, powered up, at least booting from the hard drive, since I was still living at my parents' house. Because I actually had this machine set up. Oh man, this is a blast from the past. I had this set up for my sister when she was going to her vet tech degree. Some old applications that for some reason they still needed, and that wouldn't install an XP or anything. So like wrote adverse. Oh man, yep, exactly. Now there is a lot of noise on this video signal. But wow. And I installed everything on this. Why would I have a copy of Cisco Config Maker on this? Old version of Audacity? Yeah. You know what? I don't think, yeah. I don't think I ever even, yeah, do it. Oh, God. So, judging by what just happened there, I don't think I ever started Audacity at all on this machine. I don't know what it's doing now. Unless it's another problem with a mouse. Oh, probably. Using another old IBM. I don't know where I got those. Ha! 1.0.0. What other old crap do we have? Before actually... do I rebuild? I have Photoshop 5.5 here. Yeah. when I set up machines back then, I just put everything on it, no matter if I needed to use the applications or not. There's a MP3 converter, macro media. Old versions of Dreamweaver MX, Fireworks, Flash, Netscape. Ooh. What do we have for Opera? I shouldn't have started Photoshop. While Opera is loading, let's see what else we have. Drive Image, Partition Magic. Yeah. Graphical Analysis 3.1.1. Print Artist. That's a familiar card in my family. Yahoo was my start page. $7.53. Oh wow. Now, do I wipe this or leave this as oh man. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of dumbfounded that this is all as it was. I'm gonna stop this section right now because it's a little too long for me to just sit and stare and not tell you anything. I'll be back. As interesting as it was to see that copy of 98 still as it was, I think Windows 2000 is I think I want to play with that more on this. I have other Windows 98 machines built in the meantime, and I know. The screen the display seemed to have calmed down a bit. It's not as noisy, although I might see it a bit. Which begs the question, I think it does have noisy, just the onboard video is pretty noisy, especially when blown up on an LCD display, probably. So possibly have some options. I do have two PCI video cards. One's a ATI 9250, and this is this is odd. Okay, so this is definitely a PCI card. This is definitely a PCI video card. What was I showing there? Anyway, GeForce 8400 GS PCI E 2.0. I wonder why it says that. Because, you know, these are both. That's PCI. That's PC. This This is PCIe. I mean, that's not going in a PCIe slot. It's bizarre. Never noticed that before. I think the fan is better on there. However, there is still a caveat on doing that. And do you think I should invest in a kilowatt? Because this is a 100 watt power supply. That's it. I mean, this is a little baby of a thing. So will it putting any other graphics card in here, would that be a smart thing to do? What is it actually pulling right now? With that, I'm assuming not a lot with the Celeron, but yeah, I don't know what the wattage is for these either, what they might require. Might have to look that up. But as of now, it's not the worst. I think it is getting better. No, I don't. We'll see. Oh, and then in the meantime, I built another machine. Just joking. Bad case, bad motherboard, some old modems, bad power supply. Now that was all put together so that can be one machine going to the recycler instead of per pound, I guess. I'll have more a little bit later. Now this is a bit sad, but I think it's time for me to get rid of this thing as well. Many moons ago, I gutted out a blue and white G3 and popped in some PC parts and made a computer, or a PC, I don't know, PC compatible Intel computer out of a G3 case, blue and white. And just as a quick side note, I did actually put the blue and white components in that machine right there, in that case. So that actually is still working. I think originally it was a 300 megahertz G3, but for the last decade it's been running at 400 megahertz reliably. But that's a different subject. So I just want to let you know that I didn't like scrap those parts, and oddly enough, those parts are going to be lasting longer than this, sadly, because, well, this used to be the main machine down here when it was, oh wow, when even though it might look bad now, I mean, it was a lot worse. So this was just set up on, down here in the basement and doing the same stuff as that machine is doing now, like downloading and running applications and whatever that I needed to download and for other computers. This is the functionality that this was doing for a long time. But it developed some reliability issues, and that's why you have some bloated caps right here. Should I repair it? Should I pop in a different motherboard on this? Because the way I install this is actually, I like it. I have a back part of a, you know what? It might have, it's almost exactly like the tray, because this motherboard tray and the entire back part on this machine come out as one unit. The tray and the PCI, for the holder and everything. This is exactly the same way, where it has this one board, the tray for the motherboard, and the back is all one. So popping in another micro ATX board in here is doable. But I don't know. I really don't know. I think it is time for me to just be, it's not in the best of shape. So I think I'm going to be pulling processor, the sound card, and I actually have it looks like an ATA 100 or 133 board in there. Pull the hard drive, pull the power supply, and I think the rest is going. Windows 2000 is installing, and I think I'll have more a little later. Well, that's interesting. Windows, I'm going to adjust the resolution here. I lost all my, not lost, but I don't have any spare optical mice. And I'm not using that IBM one right now. The buttons are a little funny on it, so I'm resorting to this compact ball. Probably needs to get cleaned. But okay, at any rate, Windows 2000 detected everything. Intel 810 graphics, 3Com, whatever. I mean, it's definitely going to find that. The audio, 82801AA. USB, 82801AA. So, yeah. With Windows 2000 found everything. I think this is the first. At any rate, right now I'm going to install the unofficial service pack. What do we have now? It has service pack 4, so the unofficial service pack 5, I guess, I'm going to install right now. Because the installer that I have, I slipstreamed. Windows 2000 Professional SP4 bootable. So the SP4 files were slipstreamed onto this install many years ago. And this is being taken apart. In an earlier video, should I say this now? I don't know. I think I might have lied about the fate of what was in the HP A1000Y case, because thinking about it now, I believe this was the board that was in there with a Celeron D, because this does have the additional Firewire front header, which that case has. And I believe when I was upgrading my aunt's computer, which I believe this was now, the graphics, I needed to put PCI graphics in there. So actually, I think this is what was in the HP A1000Y. Not that it really matters right now, but I just thought I'd point that out because I don't know where that came from then. So I think that has to be from another HP, from some description, but not my aunt's. And I don't even know what processor's in there right now. I could fire it up and find out, but that's too easy. And here it is all buttoned up. Excuse me. Windows 2000 is installed. All the updates are complete. Case is back on, and this might be actually the probably the most stock machine I have. It even has its original hard drive, the original CD-ROM drive, which is all in shadow. And I guess it shouldn't be much of a surprise, actually, with Windows 2000 recognizing everything, because this does have a Design for Windows ME sticker on it. So that's around the same time frame. So let's just power it on and see how fast it all goes through. So with this all taken care of, this can definitely go into the pile of keep. It's a complete system. The only quote-unquote not quote-unquote upgrades, the only actual upgrades, I believe that this came with like 64 megs of RAM. So having 256 is a nice bump, and probably is a necessary bump. It's a bump that I would be foolish not to do. Why would I keep it at 64? And a network card, which this wouldn't have come with the factory with. So the display looks a lot nicer. I don't know what was causing all of the. I don't know if you saw it in the other parts. I couldn't see very clearly on my phone display what it was actually picking up, but right now it's a lot stable, and that's what she wrote. Still says Service Pack 4, but it's the 5.1 unofficial. So every single update for Windows 2000 is on here, and now it just needs software. This is only the second Windows 2000 machine I have right now set up. The only other one is that Packard Bell Legend 410 CD. So it probably is a good idea that I did this. So not everything that I would want to try on 2000 would be on that hardware, which really shouldn't work together, honestly. But right now, if that sticker should have actually, I think if it had more than 64 megs of RAM, it could have gotten a Design for Windows 2000 sticker on it. But as it stands now, it's all nice. And I'm going to start another video like right after I do this one, because there is a machine that I referenced to before that I can see if I can actually get that one up and running as well. Until the next one, bye.